Hi, this is Lisa Kelly, Notre Dame author and class of 1993, and you are watching the Two Irish Brothers show. Cheers and go Irish.
Quinn pumps once. Buys some time and finds Samardzija. Samardzija with a cutback. 5, touchdown!
What's going on, everyone? I am ND Sean 45.
I'm Irish Benjamin, aka Ben Walters. Welcome to the show. Can you believe that we're a week one?
No,
week
I
zero,
can't.
technically week zero, I know, but week one for Notre Dame. Can you believe it? It is here. Holy cow, we're here.
I can't believe it either, dude. At week 0, first game, however you want to describe it, it is here, dude. It doesn't seem real. It's amazing how fast the summer has gone by.
Yes.
And by the way, I am ND Sean 45, like I said, but down below, Sean Moriarty, if however you guys want to refer us by, just since we've been busy with all these things and doing other shows and whatnot, why not reveal who we truly are? But Ben, before we get started with the first game of the season, something that we want to tell everybody.
Safe travels.
Yes, there is going to be a change to our programming schedule, if you will, for this season. So as you guys know, we have always done a preview that we make here on Sunday, and then we always do a recap after the game. But things are going to be a little different this year. We're going to be doing our prediction video on Sunday, as we always do. However, every Sunday there will no longer be a recap. Why is that? Because we are going to be doing a post-game live shows over at the Voice of College Football, Notre Dame.
Yep, and you can find that link down below. Mm-hmm. Make sure if you're not subscribed to that channel, please subscribe to that to follow us so you never miss anything. But like I said, and when I kind of interrupted Sean, which I'm bad about.
Don't feel bad, buddy. Don't feel bad. It happens.
Safe travels to everybody traveling for this game. You know, this is an international game. Obviously, it's in Ireland at Aviva Stadium, playing the Naval Academy for the second time in Dublin.
Third.
So please. Third time in Dublin. Sorry. Third time in Dublin. Safe travels. Stay safe. Have a good time. You know, make smart decisions because you are abroad. But
I will be there. I will be there myself.
But obviously, we see a very, very, very familiar foe in Navy to start this football season. And it's going to be interesting because although it's a familiar face and although we play them every year, new coach, new head coach, new slight philosophy change to a once very, very heavy triple option team. It sounds like, that Navy is going to be implementing a decent amount of passing in this game and their system. So that is very interesting. Very, very interesting indeed. But with that, they are going with two quarterbacks, not just one, two. Senior Ty Lavati and the freshman, you heard it there correctly, Blake Horvath. It is announced that both of them will see significant playing time in this game. I think it is very much situational. But it's going to be interesting to see what each guy brings to the table. Obviously, Lavati is a two-sport athlete. He also plays lacrosse at Navy. He has played two sports pretty much his entire career. He was scouted for not just football, but lacrosse in high school. So, you know, he is definitely a freak athlete.
Well, and watching, since you brought up lacrosse, I got to say, I never really watched a ton of lacrosse, but this past season with the Notre Dame men's lacrosse team making their run at the national championship and having a very successful run on top of that, I never realized how brutal of a sport lacrosse is. So that's definitely something that you can bring to the football field as well with that ferocious, tough mentality.
Yeah.
So it's a big time bonus.
Yeah, I mean, So, yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens with these two guys. Obviously, we know what we have. We know what we got. We have Sam Hartman. He's our starting quarterback. Angeli is number 2. And that's all that really matters right now. And it's time to light it up. It is time to light up Navy.
Well, and something else I want to say, Ben, before we really get down to talking about the on-field action here, let's talk briefly about Navy's new coach, Brian Newberry. I was looking him up, and for the most of his coaching career has always been on the defensive side of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
But just in your opinion, do you think that really makes a difference on philosophy, like bringing in a defensive guy to be a head coach? I mean, don't get me wrong. We see a defensive coordinators and defensive guys that coach defensive positions in particular take the reins as head coach all the time, college and pro. But with a team like Navy, do you think it makes a difference or really none at all?
I don't think it makes a difference. I mean, obviously, we can't say much being Notre Dame guys because Freeman was always defense and now he's our head coach. But no, I think vast majority, I don't think it is a hindrance or hurts a program at all because you know what works and doesn't work against defense as a defensive coordinator. I mean, seriously, that like this passing play or this passing package or this running package, whatever, works and doesn't work, and the schemes. So I think it goes both ways, and I don't think it is a hindrance to a program if you're bringing in a more defensive-minded guy as a head coach.
And of course, I'm talking like more just specifically towards Navy here with what they've run pretty much their entire existence. But of course, Marcus Freeman was a defensive coordinator and he's our head coach now and so on across the board. But I'm talking particular Navy if it really
and it's interesting because Navy is going to rely very, very heavily on this defense. They returned 9 starters to this defense out of 11. This is a defense that was actually pretty good last season. For their record, they had a pretty darn good defense, and on top of a good defense, they had a very good run defense. So that is something that Notre Dame's going to have to key in on in this game. And they're going to look to stop up that running game that we got with Estime. So, I think it has to be all systems go on the offense with the passing game. And, we're going to learn real quick what we got against this Navy team. So,
that's safe to say.
But yeah, no, I don't think it's an issue at all. And I think if anything, it'll make them a better football team. So yeah, but jumping right in, like I said, we know what we have in Sam Hartman, we know what we have in Estime, and we know what we need to do. We got to pass. It's apparent. I mean, you got to get that passing game rolling in this game. You have to. The way you beat Navy, this Navy team in particular, is passing. Simple as that. So, can Hartman let it fly? Yes, he can. Will he let it fly? Time will tell.
Well, and coming into us doing this preview, Ben, I was really thinking about it, and yes, you're correct that Navy does have a pretty good defense, despite how they did last year. But I got to tell you, something tells me that we're going to see a strong rushing attack out of Notre Dame because we have a loaded running back room. I mean, with Estime and Jadarian Price finally getting a chance to see some action. Devin Ford, the transfer from Penn State. Jabron Payne, and who I think is going to be a freshman phenom in Jeremiah Love. So we've got plenty of guys to choose from here. And I'd like to think that even though as good as Navy's defense was last year, we could easily wear them down in that running game. So I would really like to see us really see what we have from the other guys behind Audric Estime. But all I know is Jadarian Price. I cannot wait to see him in action. I mean, he's busted his tail off coming back from that ACL injury, and it's gonna be exciting to see what we have in that running game. But something else I've been thinking about too. You've heard me say this in years past, Ben. With Ken Niumatalolo and his tenure there. I mean, in total, he's been with the program at Navy since 2002. And he became the head coach in 2008. And I've said for years.
20 years.
Yes. And I've said for years when Ken Niumatalolo was the head coach that Navy always has a surprise package specifically for Notre Dame that they don't run against anybody else. Do you think Brian Newberry will continue that? Or do you think it's going to be just pretty straightforward?
I don't know. That's a really good question because I mean, for him, for Newberry, he has the element of surprise in multiple ways coming into this game because we don't know what he's about yet. I mean, this is his first game as a head coach. And
ever.
On top of that, this is Navy's debut with him. So, we could see something that we've never seen before in this game. And whether he keeps it in his back pocket for another big name opponent or whether he just keeps on rolling as the same, I don't know. I mean, in the tradition of things, it would be interesting to see him do exactly what has been happening for years on end before this when we play Navy, but I don't know. It's really interesting.
Yeah, he could easily just be straightforward, not have a special package at all. Because I know Ken Niumatalolo and one of his former players, they did specifically say that there is something that they do against Notre Dame that they don't do against anybody else. And it could be a number of things. It could be a blocking scheme. It could be a special play package. It's hard to tell. You'd have to actually sit down and watch film and compare and contrast between other games. So, but yeah, that's the element of surprise right here, because we don't know what Newberry's going to do.
Yeah. I mean, and you know what though? I mean, we have a little bit of a surprise too because obviously we have a new offensive coordinator. Our offense is question marked. Who will be the legit number one? Will it be Merriweather? Will it be Greathouse? Who's going to be the number one? Will we see
my bet's on Jaden Thomas.
Will we see Thomas return as the number one? How are these guys going to be utilized? I mean, is this game going to make utilization different than any other game? Who knows? These are all things that we're waiting to see happen.
And with Chris Tyree in the slot, we can't forget about that. That's going to be real interesting to see.
But the biggest thing is that our defense has to go too. I mean, this isn't just offense. Our defense, has to get going early and often. Lots of pressure on the quarterback, especially when that freshman's in. When Horvath is in, we have to get under his skin and pressure him like crazy.
Yeah, be like, hey, welcome to college football, bud.
Yeah, and welcome to playing big boys as opposed to some of the smaller teams that you guys can play. Obviously, Lavati, he's the senior, he's the grizzled vet. He's not going to get near as flustered as Horvath. But we got to get it going. This is not a Navy team that we can overlook. This is not looking ahead past Navy. This is you play Navy like you're playing Clemson or Ohio State or Southern Cal, because this is the game that can trip you up and derail a season immediately, and we can't have that happen.
And not just that, this game, obviously being the first game of the season, sets the tone for the start of the season and how things are going to go with your team.
Yes.
So it's like, this is where we get to see, okay, what do we have? What's practice been going like? How's it been how has practice been going? Excuse me. I was burping there. But yeah, this is where you get it. This is where you get it started. This is where you work out all the bugs, and yeah, just get it done. But I think you and I both agree, Ben, get that option team out of the way. This is the one thing that I like about playing Navy first game of the year is get it done, get it out of the way. We know what a pain in the ass option team is.
Some freak injuries can happen from time to time when you play an option team. It will be interesting to see how heavy they rely on the option, but I don't know. We're gonna find all this out really soon, and I can't wait. But
me neither.
We're at score prediction time, man.
Yes, the first time.
Let you do the honors. You can go first.
Well, as you know, Ben, I was in Ireland back in 2012 when we played Navy there, or then at the time. And you know what? I want to see a repeat performance. I'm going to say Notre Dame 50-5-0, Navy 10. Let's do a repeat performance. I want to see that 50-10.
Okay, we're kind of in the same boat. I say Notre Dame 56, Navy 17.
Okay. So
I think we jump out to a pretty safe lead earlier on in the football game. So I think we pull some starters, midway through the game, and then that lets Navy get, some points, which is 17.
I'm glad you said that, Ben, because that's something that I want to see this season too. In any game where we have a huge lead, the game's in the bag, get these guys, these backups on the field to get some experience. Like when Hartman's done, get Steve Angeli in there, get Kenny Minchie in there, and so on.
Yeah, but I think Hartman lights the world on fire. I think he puts the college football nation on notice, and this is his, breakout, if you will. Hello, here I am game. And I think it's 400 plus yards of passing offense.
Oh, here I am, rock you like a hurricane, baby.
Sam Hartman. So
I like it.
And let's give a little shout out to Sam Hartman. I don't know if you heard this or not, but Sam Hartman had Under Armour approach him and want to sponsor him individually. And he said, nope, you can't do that. I want my guys to be sponsored as well. And lo and behold, Under Armour said sure, and he got all of his dudes sponsored. So that's awesome. That's a great leader right there. You can't smile when you see things like that, as a headline. Hats off to Hartman. Lots of respect and much love to him. But hey, score predictions. Sean said 50-10. I say 56-17. We're kind of in the same ballpark. I hope to God we're both right, because boy, that would be a fun game to watch.
Oh, it's going to be fun.
We've said all we can say. So with that.
With that, everyone, I was going to say, everyone, remember the preview videos are going to be here on our channel, the Two Irish Brothers Show.
Yeah.
All post game. It's not just a post game recap. It is a post game live show on the Voice of College Football Notre Dame.
Right after the game. We will be on right after the game. So game's over, bam, we're on. So
or we'll say as soon as possible. How about that?
Well, yeah, but I mean,
so quick. We're going to be there soon after. So again, preview here, post game live show on the Voice of College Football Notre Dame. Both of the links will be in the description box below. I'm going to be there in Ireland for the game, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Maybe have a few cameo appearances by some people. So on that note, everyone, I am Mendy Sean 45, aka my real name, Sean Moriarty.
I'm Irish Benjamin, aka Ben Walters.
And that's it. That's all we have for you people. So as we always say in college football seasons past, good night, God bless, and go Irish.
Go Irish. Beat Navy.